Hi everyone, it's Vanessa Sumner from Heart and Soul Transformations in Australia, and I'm really excited today. This has been coming through for days, and I'm going to connect in with the amazing and graceful Princess Diana. And she's been around me for quite a few weeks, and I've had a couple of conversations with her, and for many years I have connected with her. In fact, she's come in on several client sessions over the last probably 14, 15 years, and I've always pretty much kept it on the down low. I haven't talked about it, and partly because it was just an experience that I was having. You know, obviously a couple of clients know, and I have mentioned it once on Facebook, I think a year or two ago. But there was also this sort of, I guess, fear of like saying that, because it was like, oh, well, then people are going to think, oh, she's like up herself, and oh, you know, how is she really doing this? Like, again, all that fear of judgment. And, you know, I've just got through so much of that stuff. And it's like, if we've got a voice and we can offer gifts that might bring through support for other people, like, why not use them? Aren't we being remiss? Are we denying part of our purpose? And, you know, I don't take conversations with, whether it's Princess Diana or, you know, my higher oversoul or another team member or White Feather or anyone else, anyone's loved one that I bring through for them during sessions. I treat them all the same. And I don't put them on pedestals, but obviously on some level I was, through fear of like, what would people think? And, you know, I want to walk my talk, and I keep breaking through that whole, you know, what will people think? Like, just get up and do it, you know? I could die tomorrow, so it's like, well, what if I've got some cool messages to bring through? I might as well do it. So I'm really looking forward to connecting with her today and seeing what she has to say. Could be 5 minutes, could be 15 minutes, I don't know. And I look forward to bringing through some channeling from many other beings that come through and have so much to say. Like, sometimes my head's just like, "Roar," because like I just have conversations constantly with beings coming through all day and night. There's sometimes I have to say, just shush, turn it off. Like, I just need to get some work done today, or I want to just like not think about that stuff today. So let's just create a space for her to come through more fully, because I can feel her and see her on the sidelines waiting. And actually, I must tell you that a couple of days ago, I went into my documents on my computer to have a look at a channeling that this extraordinary experience. There was a 4 or 5 day period, or 3 or 4 day period in 2017. It was around like between April, and then some more stuff come in through in June, where I had these experiences with Princess Diana that were just so divinely guided. They just blew me away. They brought me to tears, and I wrote, I think, like a couple of 1,000-word channeling. And I only shared it with one friend, and she said when she read it that it just brought her to tears. And I felt on the weekend to actually go and read it, because I thought, I want to see how much I've evolved since then, grown, so to speak, remembered, and what was some of the key messages. And I was really quite astounded with some of the things that I had brought through and what's happening globally, and how it resonated with me. So I think that's another reason why she's around me again at the moment and has a lot to say. And I don't know whether she's going to talk about anything from her family level, or whether it's more going to be about just honoring ourselves and, you know, that kind of thread. So let's go. She just asked, firstly, I can feel her presence asking us to all connect with our heart. To take some solid breaths. She's saying, notice this moment. Notice the sounds, your thoughts, your body. And the image that she is coming through is on a boat, a yacht. And remember many years ago, there was a photo of her in a swimsuit. It's a one piece, and she was on the boat, and the paparazzi took photos of her. And she's smiling at me, and she's just like languishing on the back of the boat, and she's just literally got the wind blowing in her hair. And that's when she said, I want you to notice this moment. Notice the simplicity. And she said, everyone is rushing around too much. She speaks of the deep hurts of the wounded feminine, which she had. She still had some unfinished business, so to speak, when she left. She says, I have work still to do on the other side. I've reviewed a lot. And she says, I'm very pleased with what I was able to achieve, not just in my charity work and for opening up the hearts of others and creating a sense of love and opening up that box of showing how women were disrespected, but more so what I learnt about myself through my personal challenges. She says it wasn't always very easy to be in the public eye, to be seen, to be heard, to be respected. For so long I searched for that. I craved it. I craved that love. I wanted to feel special. But inside I was suffering. There was a silence within me. But the silence had a scream. And the scream was the pain and the self-punishment and the self-torture of feeling as if I would never measure up. Not just to the monarchy, but it was as if I came in as a soul, energy, to have a very big life, a very visible life, so that I could see many parts of myself amplified, every image of myself, of my face, of my body, of my behavior, of my character, everything scrutinized. It made me self-reflect. It made me very sensitive too. And many times I withdrew into myself, into my shell. This exacerbated the bulimia, this self-torture. I want you all to look at where you are self-punishing and prohibiting, self-prohibiting the ability to simply accept yourself. You're complex. I was complex. We're all complex. She taps her head like this. She says, the more you understand your complexities and don't perceive them as wrong, the more you can just simply sit back and breathe. The more you can see yourself in your gloriousness. There's still too much of this need to be one thing when you are all things, many things. Many great teachers on your earth plane speak in this light. They say things like, if only you could see how beautiful and pure that you are. Well, I say this as well. I am showing this one through my third eye, this rainbow stream of light that flows down. It's like an incredible projector screen. And that's how the spirit world, how your loved ones, how we see you. We don't see you as broken or damaged. On the earth plane, you see that about yourself. You see yourself as separate. And there's so much carnage. Look at my carnage. Look at my death. Look at your carnage now, all around you. Look at what you leave behind in each moment. She said, I may have worn a crown, but so do you. And in many ways, it is irrelevant. You don't need a crown to know that you're glorious. That's a positive tool, as this one would say. You don't need, in truth, you don't need all these symbols and certain possessions to make you understand how regal, noble, precious, a gem that you are. You just have to remember this. Some of you will remember the depth of this more and more every day while you're on the earth plane. Some will just reach portions and fractals, and that's okay too. I've got so much heat coming through my body. My ears are just like burning on fire and all is burning through my fingertips. I just had to pull myself out of the energy for a moment. I forgot to say, if you're new to my videos, often when I channel, I do need my eyes closed because I am very visual and there's a depth of the sensory system crossing over and bringing a lot of things together. She's smiling now. She's just thanking me for bringing through her message. She says she has been reaching many channels with her love and her compassion. She's very grateful that many will speak for her. She chooses wisely. She's now speaking about condemnation. She's sort of gone off on a bit of a tangent. She says many in the industry of what you are doing and channeling, she says still many are condemning others for what they're not doing or how they need to live their life. And she says one must always come through with compassion. People underestimate compassion. They see it as weakness. You have spoken of this before. It is an eternal gift. She wants us all now to open up our hearts. She says you think that other regions of your body are the most intimate spaces, but the heart through into the soul is the most vulnerable. It's why so many of you guard it. Why I guarded it, she said. I was hurt more times than I can ever describe to you. and that hurt built an armor around. And many of you, your armor is getting stronger when it needs to be weakened, lessened, dissolved. What you don't understand is that you can't fully experience your life if you are running away from loss or trying to avoid loss and avoid being hurt through a form of love. For it is the duality of joy and sadness, loss and love, grief and happiness. Do not deny yourself a living life experience because you are afraid to be hurt. And many are breaking through this cycle of being more of the self so that they will need to be seen. If you are holding yourself back for fear of scrutiny and judgment, this is a very big year to break through, to have a breakthrough or breakthroughs for many of you, just as this one is doing by speaking for me to share these messages. She is emitting a frequency. I feel to go and say something, but then nothing's coming out. But I can see this energy coming through. It's like it's emanating from her whole body, her whole frequency, into a portal here, almost like a shape of a yoni, but it's in through the heart, because I've been seeing that the entire time. She's just smiling. She now speaks of many that are waking up to their gifts. She speaks of the many that are helping those waking up. She speaks of a huge wave of people really starting to open up their eyes, their hearts, their minds. Some are going to be quite taken by surprise. And she says you, meaning me, and many of your friends are going to help these people because it's going to be startling. And it almost as if she shows me like a heart attack almost, but not the physical heart attack. It's like it startles, it jolts the heart open. This is going to happen through earth events, unexpected deaths in our own individual lives, celebrity deaths, the political arena, unexpected things throughout the year and the years to come. She speaks of the Pleiadians to me now. She shows me her Pleiadian connection and the legion of beings. She says, these are my light friends, and you all have many light friends. She says, dance with them, talk to them, play with them. Be a little bit naughty and mischievous. Don't have to be so serious. She's scrunching her nose up like that. She's kind of doing this. She goes serious again now. She comes to the heart. I'm questioning why we're sort of waiting, and she says, You're just downloading some changes. She says, I don't come here just to speak. We're doing things together. You know that. I can see white light codes, light language codes coming out of my chest cavity and coming out of her frequency. And it is as if they blend together and unify. So I'm sharing that because you might receive that as well. Like that's what I'm endeavoring. It's not like I'm so special that I'm just getting it. Like I'm doing these videos and sharing this and going out on a, leaps of faith to have these discussions and offer this because it's for all of us. She said as she got older, she learned to use her voice. She says, don't be mistaken that a voice always has to be loud, bold. There is a stillness in the vibration of the tone of your voice and the message that is coming through. When you know your sovereignty, when you have the clarity, when you're in your truth and in your power. She says, dear one, dear ones, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. And she says, it doesn't even matter what you think. That is just a story. She smiles. She's like, see, you are so much more than all of these things combined, meaning all of us. You are so much more than your story. She said, my story took me on such a journey, such a ride, to meet extraordinary people and have extraordinary experiences. And your journey will do the same in your way, why you are here. Your purpose isn't so much to be your greatness, she said, it's to know your greatness beyond your human three-dimensional body and very limited vision of what you think you are here for. She says, you don't know what you are here for. In truth, in fullness, you are here for so much more. Her hand goes to her chest and it goes right in through her chest cavity, and literally behind her hand I can see this enormous, it's about this big, pink like diamond, like the pink on this card, beautiful sort of vibrations of pink. And I see her pull this out, so I'm just getting some clarity on what this is. She says, I want you to examine your diamond. I want you to go within, get your own diamond out, and I want you to hold it in your hands and look down and examine it. Is this something that is beautiful? Getting really teary now. She says, oh, is this ugly? Is this wrong? Is this flawed? Is this not something so profoundly beautiful and precious? Something that you are? Is this not an essence of you? Do you not deserve to honor and cherish this essence that you are? Do this while you are alive. Do this while you have the opportunity to know and to see. Do not take this truth, this essence for granted. And she says with this incredible tenacity and flair, she's like this, she says, and you go, my dear one, and you leave your facets everywhere. You sprinkle a bit of yourself everywhere you go and everywhere you be. And she says, you do that. She says, you do that for me. And she says, you do that for every woman before you and after you. And of course, this is just not separating males and females. It's the energy of how she's saying it. But the message is for each human being. Do not be afraid to fly, dear one. God has given you wings for a reason. Your wings will change. They will change and they will change and they will evolve and they will get stronger and they will get tired and then they will get strong again. And your wings will get dirty and you'll get up and you will dust them off time and time again. But instead of feeling resentment and bitterness and anger and betrayal and feeling like you're a victim to circumstances, you will feel empowered, a sense of duty, and not from a duty to suffer through your service, but a duty to your soul to experience the depth of your own eloquence. And she says, I leave you with this. I leave you with this reminder, and we shall speak again. For now, go back to the observation of this moment. Come into that stillness. And stay there as long as you can. This is where your power lies. This is where your truth is revealed. This is where your love is explored. And where your creativity abounds. Do not further hurt the one that is hurting, your inner child that seeks approval, that seeks care, nurturing, that is seeking to know itself, to cherish itself. Embrace her, embrace him. Do not blame and do not shame, for you have had enough of that. Do not criticize, and do not bridle, shackle. Your wings have freedom if you give them permission. If you keep them tied up, caged, you will miss out on dancing to your own unique beat and to explore your unique voice and expression. For you, dear one, are so magnificent. If only you could see. If only you could see. If only you could see. It's taking a nice big deep breath. Maybe have some water. That one was very strong. I'm feeling quite tired now. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you feel this message would like to be received by others, please subscribe, share it around, and share the incredible, loving essence and light of Princess Diana. I'm really looking forward to what she will share with us again soon. And let me know what really stood out for you today. Maybe there was something that she said. Maybe it was something that you felt. A sense of home, a sense of peace, and a deep sense of knowing. I look forward to connecting with you on Instagram and on Heart and Soul Transformations on Facebook. And for those of you ready to receive some one-on-one magic with me, you can do that by connecting with me on vanessasumner.com, and there's a couple of different ways that we can work together. All right, lots of love from myself, my team, and much gratitude and honor to the incredible Princess Diana. Blessed be.